let me tell you something right now. There's a war going on. A war you didn't ask for. A war you didn't start. But a war that will define you for the rest of your life. And you don't get to sit this one out. Every damn day you wake up on the battlefield, maybe it's the pain in your chest, the weight of past failures, the voice that whispers, "You're not enough. Just quit." That's the enemy. That's defeat knocking at your door with a smile on its face, waiting for you to flinch, to fold, to step back. But you don't step back. Not anymore. I don't care how bad it gets. I don't care how many times you've been knocked on your ass. I don't care how broken you feel. Because I've been there. And I made a vow when I was lying on the floor, bleeding inside. I will never accept defeat. You hear me? Defeat isn't a condition. It's a decision. It's a quiet, cowardly choice you make when you believe the pain will last forever. And you don't believe you will. But I know something different. I've bled for this. I've suffered in silence when no one clapped, when no one believed. I've trained in the dark. I've gone to war with myself. And I came out the other side, not just alive, but forged. See, you want victory, but you haven't tasted suffering. You want success, but you haven't met your demons yet. I shook hands with mine. I sat with them in the cold, and I told them, you will not own me. You want to know why I won't lose? Because I refuse to lay down. I refuse to give in. I refuse to accept a reality that tells me I can't rise above this. People want comfort. They want peace. But greatness doesn't grow in peace. It grows in chaos, in isolation. In the days where you don't see the light, but you keep walking anyway. You keep grinding. You keep breathing. You keep showing up. Because defeat only wins when you disappear. But I don't disappear. I expand. I evolve. I adapt. Every time life hits me with a new storm, I don't break. I build armor. Every scar on my soul is a reminder. Not that I was hurt, but that I healed. Not that I lost, but that I fought through hell and made it back standing. This isn't motivation. This is obsession. This is rage with direction. This is refusing to be defined by your worst days and choosing instead to use those days as fuel, as fire, as proof that your will is not for sale. You can't stop a man who has nothing to lose and everything to prove. You can't kill someone who already died and came back harder. You can't defeat someone who made peace with pain and turned it into power. Let them doubt you. Let them talk behind your back. Let them bury you. They don't realize you're a seed, and what they call defeat is just your rebirth. You see, I live in the trenches. I train in the rain, smile in the storm, because every day I suffer with purpose. I grow beyond their understanding. I don't do this to prove something to them. I do this because I refuse to die with regret. I do this because I know what it's like to be weak, and I despise that version of me. I buried him, and every day I fight to keep him dead. So when life tries to drag me back, I dig in, I clench my fists, I scream from the soul. I won't lose. I cannot accept defeat. And maybe today I get knocked down. Maybe I hit the wall. But I rise over and over and over again. Because my spirit doesn't bend. My soul doesn't fold. And my heart belongs to YR. This is the part where most people quit. This is where the voices in your head start sounding like facts. But that's when you go harder. That's when you double down. Because the breakthrough only comes after the breakdown. The light only shows up after you've proven you can survive the dark. So what do? You welcome the dark, you embrace the burn, you devour the pain, and you make it clear. I'm still here, I'm not done, and I will never fucking back down. You don't owe the world excuses. You owe yourself a legacy, and you won't get there by being soft, by wishing it was easier, by folding under pressure. You get there by becoming something unbreakable. You get there by deciding, once and for all, you are the storm. So, the next time life comes to test you, the next time defeat creeps in with open arms, look it in the face and say, you came to the wrong door, because I don't lose, I don't quit, I don't stop, I rise again and again. You are not here to survive. You are here to dominate. You are here to conquer. You are here to become what the world told you wasn't possible. And if it costs you everything, so be it. Because the man who refuses to accept defeat has already won. There comes a moment in every warrior's life when the mirror becomes the enemy, when the reflection staring back at you isn't proud, isn't strong, isn't enough. And in that moment, most people run. They look away. They numb the pain. They hide behind distractions, lies, and comfort. But not you. Not anymore, because you've tasted the bottom. You've been in that pit where the silence screams, where your heart begs for relief, but your mind tells you, get the hell up. You don't lose because of the world. You lose when you betray yourself, when you lie to yourself about who you are, what you're capable of, and how much you're willing to endure. You want to win. You better be willing to sacrifice everything that makes you weak. Your excuses, your laziness, your fear of being uncomfortable, your addiction to the easy way out. I don't need talent. I don't need luck. I need obsession. I need war. And I wage that war every damn day. Against the voice in my head that says, you've done enough. Against the people who said I wouldn't make it. Against every moment of hesitation that dares to rise in me like smoke. Let me tell you something. This isn't about winning some game. This is about not backing down when you're bleeding. This is about screaming in pain and still taking the next rep, the next step, with your heart on fire and your lungs screaming for mercy. You think I care about how I feel? You think I let emotions run this machine? Hell no. I don't need to feel good. I don't need motivation. I run on discipline, rage, and purpose. Because I refuse to be ordinary. I refuse to be remembered as someone who had potential, but chose the couch, who had dreams, but never paid the price. You know what defeat looks like. It looks like wasted talent. It looks like a man who buried his ambition because the grind was too much. It looks like silence from someone who used to have a voice, but let the world shut it down. But you are not that man. You are the one who burns at both ends, the one who takes every no and turns it into gasoline, the one who's not scared of losing because he already decided he won't. I see people break under pressure, not because life is hard, but because their standards were soft. They wanted a shortcut. They wanted applause without sacrifice. They wanted results without blood. That's not how this works. You want the crown, then carry the weight. You want to rise, then embrace the fall. Because the fall teaches you what winning never could. It teaches you who the 𝐜𝐴 you really are. And the day you stop fearing failure is the day you become dangerous. I walk into every battle expecting pain. I expect to bleed. I expect to get hit. And that's why I win. Because I made peace with the price. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be relentless. You keep showing up. You keep pushing. You keep suffering because your why is louder than your quit. You think it's supposed to be easy. You think greatness cares about your comfort. You think legacy is built in your best days. Number, it's built when the world is falling apart and you stand up anyway. When you have every reason to break, but you decide to bend instead. When your body begs you to stop, but your soul whispers, "One more." This isn't about being fearless. It's about going forward despite the fear. It's about being terrified and still swinging. You say, "I won't lose," then prove it. Prove it when no one's watching. Prove it when you're dead tired. Prove it when it's 5 a.m. and you've got nothing left but the decision to keep going. I train my mind harder than I train my body, because once your mind breaks, it doesn't matter how strong your arms are. You'll quit, you'll fold, you'll become average. But if your mind is forged in pain, nothing can break you. You don't break under pressure. You break through it. So let the world come. Let the storms rage. Let the pain cut deep. Because every time it does, I get sharper, faster, harder. I won't lose. Because I outsuffer them, I won't lose. Because I train when they sleep, I won't lose. Because I've already died to my old self and resurrected something they'll never understand. I am not the man I once was. That man is gone. That man made excuses. That man needed comfort. Now I am built for war. Now I am immune to failure. Now I hunt the moments most people run from. I don't run from pain. I invite it. I sit with it. I ask it what it's here to teach me. And I let it sharpen me into something no one can touch. This world breaks people every day. But you were not made to break. You were made to rise in the fire, to grow in the chaos, to dominate when others drown. So don't tell me it's hard. Of course it's hard. That's the point. That's the filter. That's the test. That's how the weak are separated from the warriors. You want to be unstoppable? Then suffer like it, bleed like it, push like it, think like it. Never stop moving, never stop climbing, never stop becoming something no one thought you could be. You don't need anyone's permission. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need the guts to never quit. Because if you can hold the line, if you can keep standing when everything tells you to sit down, you've already won. You're still here. You're still breathing. You're still fighting. And that alone is victory.